Well, we are here. Final preliminary game. The Nutmeg Warriors coming up against the Cinnamon Pacers. It will be a very important matchup for both teams. The match referees here, Mr. Norman Gilbert, and the two captains. We're going to have the toss.
There it is.
Ryan, you won the toss. Your decision will be?
We're going to have a bat first.
You're going to have a bat first? That sounds very different. Any particular reason, anything you saw maybe at the first game that may have influenced that decision?
Not really. We're just looking at the surface and trying to weigh our options in going into in the final stages of the competition. So let's see how that goes.
All right. What sort of target would you have in mind here, seeing the conditions, the outfield looking really in good condition, the wicket still playing true?
Yeah, it's a really good wicket throughout the competition, so we're looking to score at least 120.
All right. Well, good luck to you today. Any changes to your squad?
Isaiah and Che Duncan is out, and Maury's back in.
Okay. So, well, we wish you all the best as you go through this very important match. Let's see where you end getting ready for the playoffs.
Thank you very much.
All right. So we're going to be speaking with the Nutmeg Warriors captain for today, Daniel McDonald. Daniel, standing in as skipper today. Toss not going your way. Had you won the toss, what would have been your decision?
I would have bowled first. I wanted to bowl because I believe our batting is stronger than our bowling, so I want rather chase.
Okay, so you are in the field, so you actually got your decision. What sort of total would you be looking to restrict the Cinnamon Pacers to?
Anything under 100 is good for me.
All right. Well, we just saw 80-something being defended. Do you think your bowlers can give you that sort of result today?
Yeah, I believe the bowlers have been sticking to their plans and executing their plans very well. So I believe anything under 100 will be good.
All right, wonderful. Well, good luck to you. As we get ready, we're heading closer and closer to the playoffs. Final game in the preliminary round. Let's see what happens. Cinnamon versus Nutmeg.
And welcome back here at the Lassiter's playing field, where we're up to our second match in the double header schedule this afternoon, where Cinnamon Pacers will be coming up against the Nutmeg Warriors. The umpires are already there, players are out there, and the match is about to begin. Cinnamon Pacers, of course, will be taking first strike, and the Nutmeg Warriors should be coming hard of them. Good afternoon, Justin Hector.
Yes, and good afternoon, of course, as we wind down the final game basically in the preliminary rounds, and I think at the end of this it will be rather clear as to who the semi-finals and finals are. We could well have a repeater, I think, of last year's finals. I think it was Close and Nutmeg.
I know Nutmeg, of course, are the defending champions. Wasn't here last year, Justin.
Well, stand corrected, but
you were here.
Yeah, was here. But all in all, it's been an interesting tournament, and one hope for the sake of cricket that we can have probably another nail biter, some more excitement.
Yes, for the love of the game.
Yes, indeed. And today we're seeing the Cinnamon Pacers against the Nutmeg Warriors. And this also will make for a reasonably good game. Of course, we're probably going to see, as I said, a few players who haven't actually really featured much during the tournament beyond the Nutmeg team. But again, you wouldn't want to offset your team too much. You would want to ensure that you stay in the process, because you don't want to lose your form or your whatever impetus you may have. And sometimes changing up things could just change the whole chemistry of the game, and you may just find yourself struggling to get that back.
Here's the first ball from Bill Fon. edges and goes down to short third man. So Nikosi St-Hilaire with Danny Williams opening. Niron Belfon will move in. So there's a short third man. And there's a cover square, cover extra cover, mid-off, short outside the off stump.
And what is clear so far is the fact that Niron Belfon, who has certainly in the last game, last game or two, have certainly gone pace off quite often. He has already started the second ball of the over. And again, it was a pace off delivery. And St-Hilaire just couldn't get hold of it, get timing. In fact, he missed it and it went through. It will be very interesting to see how he approaches that.
Driving. Yeah. Ball pitched up and he came forward and just drove that sweetly. Nobody moved. Just tell you how well it was struck. So they're off the mark. And St-Hilaire also is off the mark. He's gone to 4. That one was pitched up. He was waiting for it and drove it nicely through the line. It's beautiful shot.
It's one thing to go pace off, but you have to disguise it. The St-Hilaire was virtually ready for that one. And again, pace off. This time not timing it as he did first up.
Yeah, but got a single in the process. Nikosi St-Hilaire. Who had a top score of 70 odd early in the tournament. Faded a bit, but coming to the end of this tournament would want to repeat that excellent innings that he had. We're in over number 1. This is the 4th ball, bowled by Belfon, and he is going to be moving into bowl to Williams. Left-handed Williams. Pulls that in the air.
Well,
the catch is taken.
Just off the, probably off the pad, just lobbing in the air behind for the wicketkeeper. But there was some anxiety there.
Yeah, maybe from up the pad and then maybe the upper arm. And the keeper running around. That's Andrew to take the catch. No harm done. This is the final delivery of the first over coming up. And this one, he gets inside the line, pulls it in front of square. That's going to go all the way over the boundary line now for 4. It was short. It was pullable. Onto the back foot he went and lifted it over the forward square leg area. And it went handsomely for 4. So 2 boundaries coming in this over. One hit by St-Hilaire and the other by Williams. And at the end of 1 over, Cinnamon Pacers there 9 without loss.
9 without loss. And another thing we haven't seen a wicket in the first over. Oh, good. So just over the tournament, there was a few things that we probably kept an eye on, and that was one of them. We've had wickets in the second over quite regularly too.
Yes, first and second over. I would think in over 90% of the matches. Maybe today there'll be a change of sequence as St-Hilaire prepares to take strike. Toussaint will be bowling from the far end. It's been a very quiet day with the breeze just gentle. Off the back foot, glides the ball down to third man, and there was a little bit of a bubble down that third man. That's why, again, and I probably have said that so many times, over a dozen times, how important it is to run the first run quickly. So in the event, as was seen there, the fielder just bubbling it a bit, opportunity to go back for the second run. But they didn't, because they cantered the first run.
So, to cent who has we have seen more oftenly probably as a second change, as a first change. He's now opening the bowling, and he's had a fairly decent tournament so far. Enoch Toussaint, former under-19 cricketer, and
Came forward and lifted that nicely. That's a fine shot. That's a carry power hit maximum. Pitched up. And he came forward, Williams, and lifted it with intent, with some disdain too. There was an air of confidence about that shot and contempt. And lifted it over the wideish long off area rather. And it went for a towering 6. Fine shot. This time is off the back foot and pulls that over the deep backward square area, and that's gone all the way for another Carib power hit maximum, 6 runs. Shorter, outside the leg stump, onto the back foot he went, and didn't look to roll the wrist over it. No, he didn't want 4. He wanted it to go all the way for a power hit maximum, and it did.
well, probably saying to himself, "Oh, Mr. Toussaint, when I greeted you, your first delivery, if that is your response, I'll greet you again. You need to respond appropriately."
Well, he's gone to 16 of 4. Toussaint again, outside the off stump and looking to cut the ball, goes peeling down to third man. Thought about the second, decided against it. The return came into Andrew. So one more. It's gone to 17 of 5. So he hasn't started with a canter. Started galloping. It's Williams. It goes, he sent till here. Faces up. He turns that behind square. The runs here, possibly about 2. They've gone for 1. We'll come back for the second. And the ball goes all the way over the boundary line. 4 runs. So that was neatly timed. It didn't look like that at first when it was struck, when it was turned around the corner. But the ball just seemed to gain momentum and traveled over the boundary line. It's another boundary. He's now gone into double figures, Nkosi Scintilla. He's gone to 10 of 6. And they're off to a rousing start. Over number 2. Pushed up on the onside. Good running. Good single. Well played. Just played it with soft hand. And the bowler on his follow through couldn't do no more, but maybe just in the peripheral vision see the 2 batsmen scampering for the single to complete a very good first 2 overs. So 28 runs coming up the first 2 and a healthy run rate of 14 already into the second over of the power play.
And of course, Enoch Toussaint going for 19 in the over. Certainly that didn't quite go to plan for him. But it's early days still. We've seen in some instances where teams really get off to relatively quick starts, but lost wickets on the way, and certainly didn't finish as strongly. So Charles will take over from Belfort.
John Charles, tall figure. Down the leg side, gets inside, swivels, and hits that for a maximum. Over the backward square, verging on long leg. Well, it was short, and it was just about shoulder height, went inside, lifted it nicely, and it went all the way for a carry power maximum. Well hit there, Nkosi Scintilla. Timed it well. Beautiful. Off the back foot again. Leaves that almost in identical fashion. This time he had to dip the knees in order to get under it. It wasn't as high as the previous one, but he dipped the knees, went onto the back foot. Oh, I love how he did it. And lifted it again over the deep backward square area, and it went soaring for a wonderful 6, quite majestically struck. And so we have 2 6s in 2 balls.
Well, this one even going further. Well, Fak has gone well out of the enclosure, way beyond the fence, and some assistance will be needed to retrieve the ball, which has gone over, go beyond its boundary, if I should say that. And good hit by Saint-Hilaire.
Yeah, that was a lovely hit. The first one, he had to stand tall. This one bent his knees. It looked more clever than the first one. I really enjoyed the second one more than the first. And lifted it over the deep backward square area. There was nothing iffy about it. It was all authority and confidence. What a start.
Yeah, they seem to have come out with a mission, and that mission is to win and probably try to win as big as they can to ensure that they forces their way into the playoffs.
Yeah, but oh, that looks so positive. And they've been good, genuine cricket shots, and that's what I find rather admirable. Here's Charles, treated roughly. Gets one outside the off stump. That may have had a bit of lateral movement attached to it. Saint-Hilaire was pushing at that one. Don't know whether Charles may have said something to him.
Yeah,
as if to say, well, why didn't you pull that one?
They were a little chuckle, a little laughing about it. As,
Charles to Saint-Hilaire, who flashes at that one and gets it more to the inner portion of the bat. I don't think he'll be happy with that one at all, but got a single. As the total continues to push on.
Good comeback though by Charles. First won the delivery after the 2 6s. He did beat the outside edge of Nicosi bat, and then that last delivery well pitched up, and Nicosi looking to probably hit it through the offside. Just didn't make the type of contact he would have liked, but that he has made contact with that, and that will probably surely soar out of the ground.
Yes. Good contact for a carriacou max. Look how he waited, got to the pitch of it, and lifted it sweetly. And that went soaring over mid-off and about 10 yards beyond the boundary. Fine shot. I love this. I really love this. Keep going, Danny. Just for the good of the game. Short and looking to pull that behind square. Just asking the umpire whether it was way above the head to be called a no ball. Let's look at it again.
It was one for the over signal by the square leg umpire, and probably the Nutmeg Warriors probably wanting the umpire to review that, take a second look at it, and they're probably going to do that, determine whether the umpire will have to change the decision. Remember, every run is vital in these encounters.
Right. Could the batsman reach it?
It probably was over the head. It probably would. He will have to change his decision to, with the batsman standing in his normal batting position, probably touch and go.
Yes. That'll be left up to the third to look at it and to say, umps, that should be rebowled, or that was certainly legitimate. Yeah, it's going to be called a no ball.
A wide, yes, wide.
Wide, rather. So a bit of protesting upheld.
Because he never want to have too many quiet moments.
Yes, what should be the final delivery.
And that has gone up. Oh, he dropped it.
They will come back for the second. The return comes in. And they get 2. So the 50 has come up in exactly 3 overs. And these two have really climbed into the attack of the Nutmeg Warriors. After 3 overs, exactly 50 without loss. And the run rate, 16.67.
Very healthy, that run rate. And the projected score of 167. I don't think there could be too much questions about that one. He just tried to pull a ball from outside the off stump over the leg side and couldn't do so. And Sylvester there couldn't get under it. So more changes by the Nutmeg. Daniel McDonald will take over.
Yeah, it's going to be bowling from the northern or far end of the ground. Sometimes it's referred to the road end or the river end. Turned down to backward square. Now they've hustled for 1. They're coming back for the second. They've got to hurry. The return comes in to the keeper's end. Should have been to the far end, the non-striker's end. Might have had sufficient time to go back before the return. So because he sent till here, just having sufficient time to get back. I think if the return were at the non-striker's end, he would have been safe. Forward, pulls the ball, or smashes it rather down to long on, and they go for a single. So the strike is being rotated by these two, and the boundaries have come swift and fast. This is a rousing start. Off the back foot, pulls down to the deep backward square area. Don't forget, we're out of the power play now, so the field could now be spread. So the batsmen now have to be a little bit more precise in the batting, look for gaps and look for areas to score. It's not always about going over the boundary line by means of maximum 6s. But sometimes when the field is spread like this, you look for angles. Williams retakes his guard, and he's done very well so far. 26 of 8. Comes forward and pulls that one down to mid-wicket. They're not going to come back for the second as the return comes in. So far, a good over by Daniel McDonald. Just 4 coming off the first 4 deliveries, all singles. There's short extra cover now pulled in. Off the back foot and looking to hike that one over to the deep mid-wicket area. I don't think he got the connection that he wanted, but got it to mid-wicket. The mid-wicket fielder is now pushed right back on the boundary, and the short extra cover now comes over to mid-wicket and replace that fielder that was pushed down to the deep mid-wicket boundary. In the air,
Got hold of that.
and that's going to go all the way for a carry power hit maximum. Short delivery on about the leg stump, and he went down on one knee. St. Hilaire, that's right, and lifted it nicely over the backward square area, and it went down to the boundary, beyond the boundary, so to speak, for another 6. And, well, they continue to push on. Wonderful shot it was. 60 after 4. The run rate, exactly 15. If they continue sequentially, they can get up to 150.
Well, if anything, we can see the run rate has dropped. It started at 17.
Interesting that. Imagine you're saying with the current run rate being 15 that it dropped. Change of ball. That has been done so often
Yes,
over the last week or so of the tournament, where balls were replaced quite regularly, hit to all parts of the ground.
I think the ball has returned. It must have returned.
So they're going to be restarting. Great start here by Cinnamon Pacers. 60 without loss. And they're going very quickly. St. Hilaire, 32 of 15. And Williams, 27 of 9. We're not at the halfway stage as yet. 4 overs gone. I think Nutmeg Warriors may well have been taken by surprise by this onslaught.
But again, because of the position they're sitting in the tournament, it wouldn't bother them. Of course, a win is a win, momentum and everything. You want to go into the semi-finals with some momentum, and it's important that you win your games.
So Ramdu, I think it is.
Yes, Ramdu.
It's going to be bowling. Seems to be a change of bat for Nkosi St. Hilaire. I guess the first one did the damage, and he's looking for the replacement.
I think it's Daniel Williams who has changed bats.
Oh, Williams changed bats.
Because Nkosi has gone past him, but no, I think no, the bat has paid dividend, and we see the holding of heads there. We don't know if one of the vehicles may have been in danger out there, and of course there would be again the need for the third umpire to come in. This has gone a long way across the road. Where exactly have it gone? Well, in somewhere in that direction that you're looking, and I don't know if it's a sniffer dog we saw there. If it's a sniffer dog, the ball will be returned. I think the dog will find it.
Not a lot of sniffing to do. So another ball has gone into hiding. The umpires will have to confer and choose another one. Well, I can tell you, so many balls have been used, lost,
and once again,
and retrieved.
It has been retrieved. Thank God. So
very nice.
at least this one have been retrieved. It's not. It's this side of the ground. It's not so dense. You can always, once you go behind the fence, there's always a chance that you will pick the ball up.
Yes, and there's some spectators around there, so that's going to be helpful. I hope that none of them would get anywhere close to where my vehicle is parked.
It smashed down the ground, and one bounce. Yeah. So making batting look very easy. Looking at like they're playing on a different wicket that they played on this morning.
Yeah. Jean Charles down that long off. Just looking at the body language of the Nutmeg Warriors, not animated whatsoever.
As I said, they probably have already qualified as qualifier 2.
Onto the back foot.
Smash is 4.
Oh, and that's gone past the field at mid-off. Onto the back foot, he hit that, and a sprawling effort on the part of mid-off to cut that off, but that was well struck.
Indeed, hit hard and away to his left, to his right. And they couldn't get across.
4 more to Saint-Hilaire. This time he is hitting that back past the bowler. They come back for the second. They've got to hurry to the non-strikers end. The return went diving, tumbling save by the keeper, Andrew. But by this time, they had already crossed for 2. So it's not just boundary hitting. They have been fiercely running between the wickets. There goes the Saint-Hilaire, who likes to get down on one knee. He is 38 from 17. And even more impressive is Danny Williams, who is on 34 of 11.
This one could be what now? Over again for 6 for another maximum.
Carry power hit. Well, they're reigning in boundaries here. Came forward, used the muscle and used the reach and used the bat. Hit that long and hard. 6 more, he's gone to 44. Saint-Hilaire of 18. Here he is again, off the back foot. Pulls that. Oh my golly, that's gone all the way for a great carry maximum. It was short. Onto the back foot he went, and he pulled it and pulled it well, and has not just marched, but he's galloped to 50 of 19. Well, great shot.
Are we going to see the first century today?
Doubt it. But well, it's 86 without loss.
Yes, and he has scored 15-5 in the first 5, so.
Well, if we're going sequentially, then he could score 100 of 38.
And Nicolas Saint-Hilaire, like most players have seen and experienced, that type of stature. He's short, he's sturdy, and he likes, as you say, he likes to bend that knee.
Yes.
So he makes himself even a shorter target. Must be a very difficult thing for bowlers to line up. He's not a diminutive man by any means, but he's not a tall man by any means. But look like what you would say, he's a middleweight boxer.
He's strong though.
Yeah.
That I can say. He is strong.
And no doubt he packs a punch. Does hit the ball a long, long way. So for the first time we've seen Tyrell Francis in the attack. Young man again. So it's good to see these young players featuring in this tournament. That's his first opportunity at action, and well, he's played more than one game, but he hasn't really performed with the ball. Had a chance to bowl yet, I don't think. That's his first chance. And he's greeted again with one which went high and will go over the boundary for 6. And what a time for a young man to come into the bowling attack when having seen his senior bowlers being plummeted like that and having his first ball deposited over wide long and wide mid wicket for 6.
Carry power hit maximum. That one was hit, I would think, maybe for about 100 yards. That was a big hit. Just climbed into it.
Come on, Terry. Let's go, Terry.
And he struck that so well, Williams. Marvelous shot.
Oh, good ball.
But struck back to the bowler with savagery and well held. by Francis on his follow through.
It was a slow ball too, and it takes a lot of courage after being belted for 6 to attempt a slower ball.
Metal will be tested. Big swing, inside edge. That's going to run all the way to the boundary, behind the keeper 4.
You can say, well, it's not my fault. There was nothing wrong with the delivery. It was pitched up. It was outside the off stump. And a big swing there by Williams, but coming up the inner portion of the bat. Could have easily cannoned into the stump. But as I said, it went between the leg stump and the wicket keeper. And away to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, this is good. It's 96 without loss. We're in over number 6. Look, I'm enjoying this. It really doesn't matter who's there, out there batting. This is lovely cricket, and this is great, sensational batting. And I absolutely love it.
Well, we have to love it. We have to enjoy it. We've been asking for it.
Yeah, a little belated, but it's here. 44 of 14. Francois bowls. And he is lifting that. That's gone. That's gone. It's a huge Carib maximum. Beautiful pickup. And lifted it over the mid-wicket boundary. And that went a long way. So he's joined Nkosi Saint-Hilaire on 50. The only thing is that he got it with some 3 or 4 balls faster than Saint-Hilaire got his. 102 of 34 balls.
First time in the tournament so far.
Yes. Belated,
Opening
but it has
partnership.
come. They're going to go just for a single. Ball goes out on the outside. Did get a nick out to that one. Fact that there is no signal from the umpire. Well, well, well. One couldn't dream of such a batting display here today. But quite frankly, it's absolutely sensational. Phenomenal display of good, clean, authentic hitting of the white cricket ball.
Of course, it's like the icing on the cake. We've come to the end of the preliminary rounds, the qualifying round, and that's almost like a celebration.
Driven. They're not going to come back for the second. They don't. And the Cinnamon Pacers teammates are very vocal downstairs, expressing delight. 104 without loss, 6 overs gone. Boy, that is some hitting.
Well, we could not probably safely not say now that we've had it all. Yes, we've had it all. We've had some very low scores made. We have had some low scores defended. We've had it all. We have a 100 partnership, opening partnership. We may get another one in the next game.
Well, there's a possibility here that they could get 150 odd. Beg your pardon, 150. Projected score is 173. I don't know if they could keep going like that for 10 overs, can they? Ball. Just wait to see if the umpire would signal leg by. Yes, he gets up on one leg like an animated stalk and just patted the leg to suggest that the ball did cannon into the pad. So extras, which have been minimal paces, they've paced themselves well. At 105 without loss, we're in over number 6. Just one delivery bowled in over number 6. Both batsmen have scored half centuries. They're both on 51. And mind you, Justin, not slogging, good, genuine cricket shots.
But we cannot still overemphasize how much of a good job the groundsman has done to be at this stage of the tournament, and still we see batsmen enjoying the conditions, and that's for more. Yeah. So
Yeah, got inside the line, and just clipped it down to fine leg. This is carnage. Willow versus leather, and quite frankly, Willow has prevailed significantly, dominated leather.
you have to think, as I said earlier, it's a difficult game for the Nutmeg Generals. Of course, there's the charismatic leader, Andrew Fletcher, is not in the squad today. So they're on their own out there. As I said, the Nutmeg have nothing to lose. They have qualified already. And I think the team who wants it most out there are the Cinnamon Pacers. And
They don't look like losing a wicket, do they? 111 without loss. I don't know if anybody's going to decide to retire out. Umpire signals that to be a wide.
one was probably expecting the Ginger Generals this morning to put on a much better batting performance, knowing that they probably had to boost their run rate significantly. But
Yep. Fell short. Hitting that in the air, gone over. Another maximum. That was pitched up and he came forward and lifted it. Well, the umpire is waiting, but it did go over the boundary line. 6 runs, confirmed.
of course, Nandu getting across for a moment, maybe for one moment, he did think that he had a chance, but he had to move about 15 meters to his right. And on getting there, he realized the ball was just sailing over his head.
Driven up to long off. And they get a single. So Williams has gone to 58. And the overs come to an end. 7 overs gone. It's 119 without loss. It's on 56 of 23. And Williams 59 of 19. Incredible batting performance. Good afternoon to a refreshed looking Rayfield Crow.
Yeah, good afternoon, Stevenson. Good to be here with you this afternoon.
Yes, to witness the carnage.
Yeah, has been tremendous batting by this pair. 119 put on in just about 7 overs. Really, it's sort of batting that we expected to see a little earlier on. I think it's really a tremendous opening start by Cinnamon Pacers.
Yes, really, really, really great opening stand. And they never looked like getting out. Never looked like being dislodged at all.
But as you said, a really good cricketing shot. That was evident.
Pulled down to the deep mid-wicket area. Pulled back just inside, but they will come back for the second. Williams hitting that down to the deep straight mid-wicket. So they got 2. They're going with all guns blazing. Smoke coming out of the nozzle. Figuratively, of course. And they've done it with cool, calculated composure.
Yeah, umpire just checking to make sure that that ball was stopped before he reached the boundary. Pretty close one there.
do you think, Raphael? We'll wait to see what the
Yeah, probably would have loved to see it another
Yeah.
time, but
legitimate.
umpire's convinced that is okay.
Come on, Ina.
Hits the ball down to long on and gets a
Right
single.
hander, fellas, right hander.
Down to, sorry, to deep extra cover.
Wait.
So
Shot, middle kick.
122 without loss.
Well, we're
Whoa,
probably
whoa,
going to
whoa,
see
whoa,
the highest
whoa.
score here
Yes.
by any of the team. 122 without loss. Still 2 overs after this one.
Yeah, looking to swing that one behind square on the next side. Doesn't make contact. Andrew had to take a bit of evasive action from the full-blooded swing of the bat. And that one was... It's probably trying to hit the ball too hard here now. Nicosi Saint-Hilaire. Shot outside the off stump. And looking to cut. So a couple of dot balls. This time opens the face of the bat, glides that down to third man, runs here. They will come back for the second as the return comes in to the keeper's end, and so they get 2.
So good batting by Sentler there. Actually steered it past the short third man, and we see him looking to play the attacking shot for most of the overs and have not been able to get bat to ball. So McDonald, they finished in the second over. He had none for 13. Has been a good spell.
Pretty good spell. So, what a fine batting display by these two. It's 124 without loss. Whoever dreamed that that score would be on the scoreboard now? But it certainly is. 124 without loss and still 2 overs to go.
So we look at the first game, and probably you would have seen exactly what happened in the first game. 79 was required for victory.
Yeah, and they still lost it. Quite an amazing match. It just shows you about this game called cricket. Ball picked
Swung.
up, lifted. It's gone all the way. Carry power hit maximum. So they're not relenting here at all. Williams getting under it and lifting it. He's 68 of 22. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, has been a fabulous inning. Ball pitched up and he got under it and lifted it over long on.
Belfon again. Off the back foot. And hits that to extra cover. And finally, a wicket goes down as Williams, maybe that was a slow ball. And it was hit out there to extra cover. Catch taken. Cinnamon Pacers. Finally, they've lost the wicket in over number 9 as Williams goes for 68.
Yeah, very good inning. He really hit the ball well. Again, good bowling there by Belfon. He's in his second over, has only gone for 15, picking up, and it just seemed to be a slower delivery and wide off the off stump. Yeah, he had to reach for it. I think it was a slower delivery and only able to hit it to cover. But really has been a good inning. 130 for 1 into the 9th over. They will be satisfied with the start that they had.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they would want maybe another 20 runs. Gets a rousing round of applause from his teammates, Williams, for a marvelous innings. Absolutely marvelous. He can go back feeling very happy that he's played his role very well indeed. Delivery by Belfon. So he's been the successful bowler.
Yeah, and that delivery full, but Ryan John, the captain, just was deceived there and only able to play it down to mid-off, bouncing down to mid-off, so timing really was off.
Much too wide, says the umpire. Confirmed with arms outstretched. $132 for 1 in over number 9. So some 9 deliveries to go. Pulls the ball down to mid-on. It's around. Comes off the boundary and picks up.
He has been able to show a lot of control with his slower deliveries.
Yes.
Fast arm action, but has been able to really control the slow ball well. And we saw there St. again, not timing the ball, get it down to mid-on, but really the timing was way off. And it's because of him taking piece of the delivery. Just need to be a little bit straighter. Again, another wide ball pitching outside the off stump and going further away. The umpire had really no hesitation in signaling wide.
Wants John to reach for it, but he sprayed it too far.
Hit down to backward point. Let's see the fielder coming around there. And again, ball moving away from the batter and just seemed to be hit the bottom edge and flew down to backward point. But not bringing the ball up in the arc, just short of a length. And the natural swing of the left hand of the ball, leaving the right hander. So you will always have to be reaching for it.
Unless he decides to go way outside the off stump.
Or unless he decides to bat off. Outside, down to long on. The fielder comes around and takes a good catch. Again, Ramdu picking up a good catch just in front of the long on boundary. And again, batsman having to reach for it outside the off stump. Not being able to get hold of it.
So another wicket has fallen. This time the other opener in St. Hilaire. Good catch. Having to run around to his left. Never looked like dropping it. So 9 overs gone. It's 135 for 2, 135 for 2.
Yeah, good knock by.
Current run rate. Exactly 15. So will they get up to 150? That's going to be the question of this, the final over.
So good knock by Sentle. Caught Ramdu bowled Belfon. And he had 59, 29 deliveries. He had 4 fours and 6 sixes. And really
that's huge.
Really give Pieces a sort of start that is required if they're going to get up to this sort of score, 135 for 2 with 1 over to go. Two Saint has been on the expensive side, 1 over for 19. And he's going to bowl the final, the 10th over. Going to bowl to the captain, Ryan John.
John has a good opportunity here to showcase his batting prowess. Could be a big hitter. Scamper single. Ball was just in front of him on the offside there, and they took off.
Yeah, very good delivery by Toussaint, the Yorker. And John there not being able to get bat onto it, but still were able to pick up the leg by. But that's the sort of length you want to be bowling right up. As if Hooper.
Hooper lost his shape, but will pick up a single. Looking to tug the ball down to mid-wicket. Well, this might turn out to be a quiet over, probably, in comparison to what we've had.
Yeah, still a few runs adrift from the highest total scored by any of the team. John, they're trying a reverse shot. It really was not able to get bat onto it again. Seemed to come off the bottom of the bat into the body. They pick up a single. Yeah, he certainly was looking for a lot more than just a single of that delivery. So Toussaint doing well in the first 3 deliveries, just 2 runs being scored.
Yeah, it's bowled pretty well though in this final over. Certainly slowed things down. And what was originally thought of 150, they might be well hard pressed to get that. Just 2 deliveries remaining in the innings.
Well, they need to hit 2 maximum if they're going to get to that 150. Hit down to long on, and this one goes down to the boundary for 4. Again, pitch up. I don't think John really got it how he wanted, but was able to pick the gap, and it went down to a wide long on for 4. 143.
Well, that 150 that we spoke about with its possibility seemed to have faded.
Well, unless there's an extra no ball that would give them another opportunity. But I think they would have now passed get to the high score.
I think the previous was 142, was it?
Previous being 142. $144, so there goes a wide. So it still can happen. 1 boundary will bring them to 150. Happy a quiet over by Toussaint. Just being struck for 1 boundary. And goes to swing his out leg before. Again, ball pitch up. John looking, I think he probably hit across it, trying to hit it probably to square, as we would see here. Yeah, that ball. It just seems as though he probably would have just touched the leg stump, but really, a good delivery. And Toussaint picking up another one.
So Cinnamon Pacers, 144 for 3 of 10. So the Pacers would need to score at just about 14, a little over 14 runs per over to get to that winning target. But it's been a wonderful display of batting by Danny Williams and Nkosi St-Hilaire. What a great display. Both players getting half centuries. And that's a huge total, and it will take quite a bit of chasing to get to overhaul that.
Yes, it would take exceptional batting from Nutmeg Warriors if they're going to get to that 145. But one would think that Nutmeg Warriors would have come back in the last few overs. I think they would have come back strongly to really keep them down just to 144. At 118 with 3 overs to go, you would have one would have expected them to really go on. But credit to Nutmeg Warriors. They came back strongly. We had a good over by Toussaint. Really have kept them down to 144.
So, fine performance by the Cinnamon Pacers. And of course, the Nutmeg Warriors would have to chase down 145. 145 to win in 10 overs. And it's going to take quite a bit of chasing to overhaul that. But that's the game of cricket. You can expect anything. So we'll be back here. We'll have a break, and then we'll be ready for the run chase. But before we do that, let's just give you a little bit of the bowling. Belfort had 2 for 20 of 2. Very expensive. Toussaint 1 for 26 of 2. And Dejon Charles, none for 36. Very expensive. Daniel McDonald, none for 15 of 2. He was rather economical. Ramdu was treated severely, none for 26 of 1. And Francis had none for 18 of just the 1 over that he bowled. So all of the bowlers, with the exception of one, rather expensive. Nicosi St. Hilaire batted very well, just 29 balls for 59 runs. He hit some 5 sixes and 4 fours. It was a boundary-studded innings and a strike rate of 203.45. Nothing different really with Williams, who also batted well for 68, 23 balls, had 2 fours, but 8 towering sixes, and a strike rate of 295, almost 300. Ranjon in the end was leg before to without any score for 6 of 6 balls, and in the end they could muster 144 for 3. The Cinnamon Pacers of 10 overs, and a run rate of almost 15 per over. The Nutmeg Warriors will have to really put the foot on the pedal very early, and the run chase has to be really chased down with quite rapidity and also with aggression. So that's the match summary so far. 144 for 3 made by Cinnamon Pacers. They would need to score 145 for victory. We'll be right back for the run chase. And welcome back here at the Lassiter playing field. Cinnamon Pacers 143 for 3 of 10. And what a wonderful batting display this was. Nutmeg Warriors, they need 145 to win of 10 overs. And it's been a real fantastic display of good power hitting on the part of both Danny Williams and Nkosi Saint-Hilaire, both scoring half centuries. And it will take quite a bit of chasing for the Nutmeg Warriors to overhaul this. They've got to score at almost 15 runs per over to do that. It's not an impossible task, but it's a tall order. And Ryan John, in fact, seemingly will open up the attack for Cinnamon Pacers. So he's got quite a healthy score to chase. So it should give him the sort of freedom that he needs to experiment a bit. But he's got to be careful not to take that experiment too far. So here is the first delivery. There is an appeal. They go through for the single. And the first ball causing a bit of concern as Charles was onto the back foot. May have been a bit of inside edge onto the pad.
All right, thank you.
So brings the right-handed Andrew into strike. Don't forget the 144 needed. Now in 59 balls, we'll be hearing from Donnelly Blackman. Of course, this tournament does have part sponsors. Delivery slanting down the leg side. Oh, there was a dismissal. Andrew seemed to be walking away. It really has lost all of us, really, as to exactly what happened. We'd have to depend on the replay here. The body language didn't suggest anything untoward. But let's see what happened. Here is John, and Andrew is wrapped on the pad. The appeal went up, so he was given out like before. Went inside the line to tuck it around the corner. Yes, Mr. Blackman. So good afternoon and welcome to the broadcast.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having us.
And you're the representative, of course, for Dutch Lady part sponsorship of this tournament. Which company exactly?
That's Hubbard's, the home of the Dutch Lady, and specifically we are a sponsor of the Nutmeg Warriors.
Nutmeg Warriors. It's good to have some of the individual teams, of course, sponsoring the Nutmeg Warriors. And you might be pretty proud because they've played very well in the tournament.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We have been looking on from a distance and here presently on the field at the pavilion, and we are really impressed with the performance of the team thus far, and we're hoping to climb all the way to the top, to the final on Sunday.
They are the defending champions, and of course, all sponsors would like to know that the team that they sponsor do well. There's no exception.
Exactly, indeed.
What really got you folk on board, though?
Well, it is always and has always been part of our plan, Dutch Lady, to be more present within the sporting arena, and we've been working along with the children for the past couple of years. And when the opportunity came, or when it arose, we decided to seize the moment to get ourselves involved, especially in a sport where we believe had such a great impact over the earlier years, and to see it now being stirred up again and having opportunity for not just the local players but regional players, where they can get an opportunity to shine in such a big tournament.
The new batsman being Kyle Ramdo. just the one delivery he has faced. And Ryan John, who trapped Andrew leg before, steams in. In the air, I think the catch is going to be taken, yes. So he has picked up 2 wickets here, Ryan John, 2 of 2. Just seemed to be in 2 minds, Ramdu, as to what he should do with the ball. Looked rather cramped. In the end, the catch was taken there at mid-on, made a huge step outside the leg stump. And that was airborne, comfortable catch taken. And so Ramdu has lost his wicket. And Nutmeg Warriors, they're in serious trouble here now. They're 2 for 2. Well, this is not the best start by the Warriors. So, just coming back to your sponsorship of the team, when of course you folk would have been approached to do the sponsorship, and I guess it's your way of contributing to the development of local cricket.
Definitely, it is. It is. And in this moment, I'd like to also make an appeal to corporate company bodies out there. You know, this is a great initiative to at least to pump cricket again, make it become more attractive, more alive. And I believe in community spirit, and the private sector. They do have a great print within our nation, and they can definitely cause the sport again to drive, to come alive.
Daniel McDonald, the new batsman, Ryan John is in and looking to pull that through mid-wicket, doesn't make contact. Keeper collects behind the stump. It's interesting, of course, you're alluding to the fact that it's important for the private companies to come on board and to support the development of sport. And at a time when there is some measure of declension in sport, I think that all hands on deck will be appropriate.
Definitely, definitely.
Here is John moving in and bowls, and ball just seemed to cramp the left-handed Daniel McDonald. Doesn't make the sort of contact that he wanted. The over comes to an end, and after the end of 1 over, Nutmeg Warriors only 1 on the board, but they have lost 2 wickets. Any thoughts about continuing this sponsorship on a long-term basis or medium-term? What's your thoughts?
Yes, we intend to not just continue now, but to make it a long-term commitment to the game of cricket, and also to other opportunities that where we can see the sports, or you know, especially with the young people. And I know that we are a very diverse young nation. Our community made up a large percentage of young people, and it's great to see examples like Andrew Fletcher. We have Junior Moria and the likes present as well, and they can look on and they can follow and take a page from them and see how far the sport can take them.
This is going to be the second over by Cinnamon Pacers. They're off to a great start. And here is Francis, who will move in to bowl to Charles. Let alone outside the off stump. How important do you and your company see cricket as a whole, and cricket contributing to the overall psyche of a country and to the wider region by extension?
I believe that the game has become and when you look at it on an international level, it has become really, really commercialized in other countries. Like I see even the Dream 11, and you see Indian commentators jumping on board, and I see that they're very much excited, even more excited than us here in Grenada about this game. So when you see things like that, it tells of the potential of the game and of the sport. And by this, we know as a company that there is great potential, and with our partnership, we know that the game can continue to grow.
Tell us a little bit of your product, Dutch Lady itself?
Yes. Dutch Lady, it's one of the premium brand milk made of 100% cow's milk, and it's not filled. The
Pull shot down to backward square 4 runs. Got onto the top of that one and just helped it on its way. It's a back delivery. Got the treatment it deserved. Pulled. Went inside the line, is Charles, and swung it around to the backward square area for 4.
It's
Fine
good
shot.
shot. Good shot.
Yes, continue.
Yes. So the milk is actually produced out of we're in Friesland, and it's a bunch of farmers really that came together.
That one lifted with an imperious demeanor. He has flicked that one nicely for a great 6. That's a carry power hit 6 over the mid-wicket area. Picked it up so very well, quite easily too, Charles. And it went over the mid-wicket boundary for 6. Lovely shot. So we'll need many more like that.
Definitely.
Yes. So yes, so your product, of course, it's scattered all over Grenada, isn't it?
Yes. We have the sweetened condensed milk, which I know a lot of Grenadians use in their cereals and their porridge and so on. And then we have the UHT, which is comes in 3 different categories. You have skimmed, semi-skimmed, and a full cream. We also have evaporated, which you use in your pies and certain pastries and so on. And we also have the powdered milk, or the instant milk powder, that you can also get available in sachets.
So of course, Dutch Lady on board, and we want to say thanks, of course, to other companies who have come on. Here is a delivery outside the off stump, span through the offside. Good diving stop. Would have been just a single, because another fielder was there to back up. Looked like
To the goalpost.
that's it.
Shake.
Total 12 for 2. We're in over number 2. The required run rate is 16.29. Current run rate is 6.55, which is rather low for a huge total. Still 133 in arrears, and they would need to get that off only 49 deliveries.
That's the over ball.
End of an over.
Yeah, so the end of the over, 2 overs gone, and at the end of the over is 12 for 2. Any involvement of cricket yourself?
In my younger years, not that I'm old, but while I was in school, I loved the game, but I was more interested in track and field and other extracurricular activities. So I somewhat shied away, but it was a game that we played a lot and enjoyed.
Well, we want to thank you so much, and of course, Hubbards, for being part of the Dream 11 Spice T10 tournament. And you're, of course, sponsoring the Nutmeg Warriors. And I'm sure that you're hoping that they would win this one, which is going to be a tall order, and get into the finals and maybe hold up the championship trophy.
Yes, indeed.
Will the catch be taken? Yes, gone. Another wicket has gone down. Well, Charles was looking to find the deep extra cover boundary. Airborne for a long time. The catch taken. And so another wicket has gone down. Nutmeg Warriors, they're now 12 for 3. And they're in serious, serious trouble. They're looking down the barrel of defeat. So thanks again, Mr. Blackman, for coming and just sharing with us. And thanks for your sponsorship of the Nutmeg Warriors, who, from all indication, may not win this one this afternoon. But the fact is they're up there among the top of the point standing, and you'll be very happy with that, and wish you all the best, and your team may
Thank
be
you
up in
very
the
much.
finals.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, too. This is, of course, Mr. Donnelly Blackman talking with us here. Of course, the sponsors, Dutch lady of the Nutmeg Warriors. Nice to have had him here with us in the broadcast booth. So, there is Andrew. Is now coming to the crease. And Justin Hector has come into his commentary crease. Justin, good afternoon.
Good afternoon again, Pastor. Yes, he wasn't.
Who's going to win this one?
Oh, I think it's I think it's advantage Cinnamon. They look the more hungry of
Yes.
the teams.
I like the way you put it. They look very hungry indeed in this match. And if they had carried maybe this sort of approach throughout the tournament, would have gone maybe even further. Well bowled. Well bowled by Asif Hooper. So they're putting a noose around the neck, so to speak, of the Nutmeg Warriors.
So I think they're tightening the noose because at 145, the noose were already, I think,
Okay.
around the neck.
Wrapped on the pad. There is a people like me for gone. Well, that looks adjacent from here. He came inside the line and looking to swing that over backward square. Look at it again. And just on the knee roll, might have gone on to hit the leg stump. The umpire's finger fatally raised the index one, pointing heavenward. And so he's got to go back. Andrew, leg before to Asif Hooper without scoring. And they continue to reel in trouble. Nutmeg Warriors, they've lost another one.
Well, looking to go big, not making contact, and can't have no real complaint. I think that would have gone, that would have been out no matter what. It was straight, and therefore, good decision in the end by the umpire. And of course, more problems for the Nutmeg Warriors, 12 for 4. As I was saying, welcome back, Cooney.
Yeah, afternoon, Justin.
Yes, and as I was saying, so it's like one Andrew replacing another, but the Nutmeg Warrior. A defeat this evening probably wouldn't hurt them too badly. As I was saying, they do look the less hungrier of the two teams out there. Of course, a few changes, knowing that it was a sort of dead rubber for them. So Hooper bowls at the vgh'n outside the off stump. And there is no run. That's Chris Alexander. Comes out to the middle. And there's probably not much left in terms of the batting for the Nutmeg Warriors.
Yeah, you're right. I think they are playing this game really not under any pressure. They have already qualified, and certainly with what we saw from Cinnamon Pieces, really seem to have taken the fight out of Nutmeg Warriors. 144 being a big score in a 10-over game. And certainly when you have this sort of score, if you do not get off to a good start, sometimes really difficult. And we have seen that they have already lost. We into the fourth over, already lost 4 wickets for 13. So really, I think not much fight shown here by Nutmeg Warriors. But again, Cinnamon Pieces would have come out all guns blazing and really have found themselves in a really commanding position.
Yeah.
Just looking at the point standing here, Justin, Clove Challengers only lost 1 game in the tournament. They have played some 8 games, win 7. So they are on 14 points at the top of the table. Nutmeg Warriors, 7 games. They have won 5, lost 2. They are on 10 points. And it all seems as though they may end up on 10 points. And then we have Cinnamon Pacers. They also played, this would be the final game. They're on 6 points.
It's a nice shot there by McDonald, just standing tall and turning it behind square on the onside, beating the fielder at a short fine leg. And of course, the backward of square coming around, couldn't get to it. And it just goes to show how quickly the ball traveled over the outfield. We've seen, I think it was cut last evening. And certainly we've seen the effects of that. And do get value for shot. And we saw it already today when in the first innings, when the Cinnamon Pacers probably delivered one of the best performance so far in the tournament. And century opening stand, first one in the tournament.
Yeah, really was a good opening stand. 130, I think they put on for the first wicket. Both openers getting 50. What was really interesting is the amount of sixes they would have hit between them. Some 13 sixes. We saw 8 from Daniel and 5 from St. Clair. Pulled down to backward square. The fielder coming around. Yes, he's going to cut off just inside the boundary. And the batsman come through for 2. Shortish delivery there. And we saw there that McDonald playing it down to backward square with confident ease. 19 for 4. We are into the 4th over. Just to go back to the facility again, it looks really a picture. We do have now some really bright sunlight. The last few days have been pretty gloomy, overcast, but we are seeing some really bright sunlight this afternoon, and certainly reflect really nice on this pictures out ground.
There's a saying that we're blessed by the Almighty. Of course, if you look around at the weather throughout the region, it has been rather bad in some of the Windward and Trinidad and Tobago, Dominica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All had their fair share of very heavy rainfall, floods, and we have to say thank God.
So
we've only lost what? 1 game, 1 over. No, 5 overs so far we have lost in, yeah.
Well, we actually lost 2 overs and probably 2 balls.
Yes, well, right, generally.
That game, which was 9 overs.
Yeah.
And then there's a game that ended with 2 balls remaining.
Yes,
but, so we have been blessed with good weather here.
Indeed. Many times we would have arrived here wondering how long it's going to be before we have a torrential downpour. We didn't have that, and we've made it that far. What it has done, though, it has really brightened up the cricket. We have had some good cricket so far. Out
caught at the wicket.
Yes.
And Cosmori, they getting this ball to bounce. And you can see the batsman, they just flared at the ball. They're not too positive in terms of the shot. Really had to really stretch for it. And took the top edge, and easy catch taken there. Nutmeg Warriors losing the 5th wicket. And really looking deeper in trouble. Really, that 145 that is required is a long way off. They have now lost half of the team. We are just into the 4th over.
Yes, and the dangers of that, as we know, when you have already qualified for a competition, it's what really motivates you, in having a game or 2 probably still before the end of the rungs, the preliminary rungs. It's very difficult to concentrate and to stay focused in a situation like that, but it's also very, very important that you do, because winning could become a habit.
Yeah, and it's important to develop that habit of winning despite what situation in. One can understand Nutmeg Warriors. In this case, whether the win or lose, it doesn't change nothing. But at the same time, you want to maintain the habit of winning. You want to maintain, team, playing and know how to win and is consistent in winning. And
So Tyrese Francis has come on, and to see the young man getting off the mark. Tyrese Francis, of course.
But you have to give a lot of credit to Cinnamon Pieces. And they would have come out really with all gun blazing. And I think the approach, how they attacked the Nutmeg Warriors bowlers, really maybe something that they didn't expect. And before you turn around, they were in a really, really strong position. And continue that momentum right through. I think one can say that Nutmeg Warriors probably would have pulled back in the last 3 overs. Because they were traveling. We expected 150 would have been easy. But really, they would have taken them by surprise.
Indeed. Well, and the reason for that must be the fact that the Nutmeg Warriors wasn't the team that actually needed the victory. And but in terms of the chemistry, it is important that they continue to win. Bowl him, he did, yes, bowl him. A delivery pitched up by Asif Hooper, it went right through the gate. And for Tyrese Francis going on to the back foot, looking to play defensively and missing and being cleaned up. So he goes for 1, and the total 21 for 6. But in any context, Crony, it's a dismal performance by the...
Yeah, sorry side, just 21 for 6, and none of the batsmen so far really look in any form of control or command in terms of what went on there. Going on, Hooper now has picked up 3 for 1, and he's, I think, into his 2nd over, but really not this sort of reply one expected. Nutmeg Warriors really have not got off to a good start and losing wicket regularly. 21 for 6, and in danger of probably making the lowest score in the tournament.
Indeed. And the top teams, the 2 teams at the top, it is ironic that they both will see them both being bowled out in 10 overs, inside 10 overs.
Interesting on a pitch that is playing so well.
Yeah.
21 for 6, Hooper has picked up so far 3 wickets, and he's going to bowl to the left-handed Belfon, Nyron Belfon, really better known for his left-arm seam bowling. Cinnamon Pieces look very relaxed, as in total control of this game.
No. Garces Hooper, I don't know what had happened, whether probably the batsmen were not prepared, were not ready. He had to pull out, and then the batsman pulling out and clean him up also. So another wicket. Nyron Belfort not having a clue as to what went on there, and one can see the joy. So they may have had some words at this point. One can see Hooper, Asif Hooper, really enjoying that. We haven't seen him that animated so far in the tournament, but one can well understand why.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say that they probably would have some form of bantering, knowing Nyron Belfon and the sort of player he is. But this was a delivery that he seemingly played down the wrong line. It did come back in, but you could see him playing inside of it. And that ball just passed the outside edge of the bat, came back and hit probably middle and off. And Hooper is enjoying probably the best spell in the tournament, 4 for 1. And really Nutmeg Warriors. So, Cinnamon Pieces all over Nutmeg Warriors.
Well, there is a possibility that he can pick up a 5 for now, or even more. We just 2 deliveries gone in the over, and he's on a hat trick now. So As if Hooper found himself on a hat trick.
So Toussaint is going to try to keep out that hat-trick delivery. And left-handed Hooper coming from the northern end. And he's actually going between the umpire and the stumps. Enough Toussaint.
He does have an idea about batting, but maybe John could have been a little bit more attacking, knowing that the bowler is on a hat trick. Maybe a second slip may have been brought in.
Yeah, one would think maybe just put a little pressure.
Maybe somebody just in the eye line of the batsman. And he's off the back foot, and that was close to. He went on to the back foot to smash it through the offside. So as far as Enoch Toussaint was concerned, he was not too at all concerned about that hat-trick ball.
Well, it was not too close. Could have easily taken the edge there. And once again, looking for the drive ball, comes off the edge, goes down to long leg. It really, Toussaint finding really some difficulty there, looking to drive. The ball comes off the edge, go down to long leg, pick up 2. But it just seems as though every delivery that Hooper bowls, that something can happen. 23 for 7 over number 5 in progress.
And it's bowled. Again, that's the 5 for him. And Enoch Toussaint having a big swish. And once again, Asif Hooper going down on his knees and thanking, well, is the Almighty and probably the wicket for providing him the opportunity. It's a good wicket, and I think some of the bowlers are beaten, not so much for spin, but pace. So the ball going to them quite quickly. Did he edge it onto his stumps?
Well, it was a short of a length delivery. I think it was a quicker delivery.
Yes, it was.
And Toussaint looking to pull. I think he was late on the shot.
Yeah.
And it just went through and hit the off stump. But Justin, as I just said before, it just seems as though every delivery that Hooper bowled, that's something going to happen. He picked up some 3 wickets in that over and ended with 5 for 3. Really the spell of the tournament.
Indeed. It will be very, very difficult to beat. He still have a delivery left. And he may well end up with a 6 with 6. Of course, the veteran, John Olive, has come out. Probably it's amazing that we didn't see him come out before the least experienced. And that's close too. And not out, says the umpire. He knows it's not out. He didn't even turn around to see what the umpire was doing, but it was an amazing spell, excellent spell, and yes, probably just drifting down the leg side.
Yeah, just drifting down the leg side. But really a good over.
Yes.
And ball just slanting down the leg side. Tremendous over, picking up 3 wickets in this over. And really put Cinnamon Peters in a very strong position. 23 for 8. And we're just at the halfway stage.
Well, as I said, they started in a strong position. Now they're almost out of reach, way out of reach. And probably not even a miracle now could save the Nutmeg Warriors having to score. They have to hit to win this game. Even a 6 a ball will not do it. It's so advanced.
Yeah, it's almost an impossible position.
Yeah.
Come out a victory. We still have 110 runs, just about the 110 runs required. So convincing performance today by Cinnamon Peters. Peters both with the bat and the ball. So they will, Cinnamon Peters will get up to 8 points and probably remain in the 3rd position. Ginger General will probably just get in to be the 4th team. Ball swing and swing down to backward square. The fielder come around. Again, first delivery ball there by Murray. Ricardo Murray. bowling off spin. Ball hit down to long on. The long on fielder comes around over the top. And let's go for a carry power hit. Ball pitched up and lifting it. John Olive down to long on. Just wide up the Hooper on the long on boundary. Picking up a maximum.
Yeah, well, it's party time now. It's fun time, and I think that goes both for the batters and the fielders. Really, the game is all over by as a competitive game.
Hit to cover, shortish delivery. Olive played it really nicely, timed it well down to the cover fielder on the boundary.
See, just for these two to see if they can add to the
Down to mid-wicket, taking at backward square.
So I was just about to say it's just a chance for these two to spend some time in the middle, maybe add some runs to that they haven't had runs during the tournament. Chances of during the tournament, maybe a chance to just in the next 4 point or 2 overs or so, just stay in there and get some runs and and see it out. But it was not to be. And what's a great procession we have seen. I mean. And then we're in danger of of getting the lowest total in the tournament. I don't think the management will be too happy with that.
So despite your position, you still would want to compete. You would want to make a fight. And yes, Nutmeg Warriors really, the loss doesn't really take away anything in terms of the position, but again, you want to go there and play and compete. This could be termed as sort of embarrassing. 31 for 9. A team would have boasts of players of tremendous ability. Yes, we haven't seen the captain Andrew Fletcher is on this team, but generally, you want to use something. You want to perform. Yeah, lose, but lose well. But, they have lost wickets regularly. And they have found themselves 31 for 9. And Ricardo Morin is first over. Picked up 1 wicket. He went 1 wicket for 8 runs after 6 overs. 31 for 9.
Well. 31 for 9. Required run with, well, we can't forget that. 28.5. No way. Williams himself must be a happy man today. He's had a really good inning. Yeah. Together with Nkosi St-Hilaire. They really plundered the attack of the Nutmeg Warriors.
Yeah, and both players, I think, were very aggressive and they hit the ball well. And importantly, they really played good cricket shots. They were not trying to manufacture anything, but they played the ball on its merit. So it really tells you in terms of the attack of the Nutmeg Warriors team. It wasn't the sort of aggressive and penetrative attack that you come to be accustomed to. But full credit to both openers. They hit the ball well and really would have set the foundation for Cinnamon Pieces to be in such a strong position at this moment.
Well, one can say that they have threatened once or twice already to do something big, to provide a reasonable total. It didn't turn out to be that way. And of course, they took the opportunity and took it well today and posted a total of real substance, which really, in a sense, really batted the Nutmeg Warriors out of the game. And that's is all it was. It's written catch to fittingly enough to Nicosi Centile, and as we saw that's Henry trying to go over extra cover, not really having the power, and so it went straight to Nicosi Centile, who just had to go down and take it just inches from the ground. He did so well, and that's it for today and this game. Of course, Nutmeg Warrior producing the lowest score in the tournament so far, only 32, and Cinnamon Pacers would have won by 112, and that will give their run rate a serious boost.
Yes, I said before they will maintain the third place position. It has been a tremendous performance. They played well with the bat, and seemingly would have gone out there with a great sense of purpose to get a good start, which they did. They also had the highest partnership of the tournament, 130, and then came back and bowled magnificently. As we look at the score there, John, he had a 2 for 6 in his 1 over. Francis, 1 over, 11 runs. He didn't pick up a wicket. Hooper, 2 overs. Very interesting with 2 overs. He had 5 for 3. 1 for 8 was Cousin Murray, and Ricardo Murray also picked up 1 for 8 in 1. And Bartholomew, in just 3 deliveries, picked up 1 wicket. And really, they bundle out Nutmeg Warrior for just 32.
We probably thought that a batsman probably may have been the man of the match, but probably that has been eclipsed by Asif Hooper.
So as we look at Charles, caught Regis bowled Hooper 11, Andrew, LBW Ryan John, no score. Ramdu caught Customary bowled Ryan John, no score. Daniel McDonald caught Williams bowled Customary 6. Kelly Sanju, LBW Hooper, no score. Chris Alexander caught Noel bowled Ricardo Murray for 1. Therese Francis bowled Hooper 1. Nyron Belford bowled Hooper, no score. Enoch Toussaint bowled Hooper also for 2. John Olive not out 8. And Michael Henry, the last to go, caught Nicholas St. Clair bowled Cavan Bartholomew for 4. Really has been a tremendous bowling performance. Hooper here picking up 5 for 3. As we look at just a summary of the match, Cinnamon Pacers 144 for 3. Daniel Williams 68 from 23. Nicholas St. Clair 59 from 29 are the main scorers. Belfont picked up 2 for 20. And Nutmeg Warriors just Dijon Charles with 11, the only player reaching double figures. And Asif Hooper 5 for 3. Ryan John picked up 2 wickets for no runs. And Cosmori 1 for 8. Really an all-round bowling and batting performance and a well-deserved victory here. As we look at the point standing, Clove Challenger, well, the top of the table, 8 matches, 14 points. Nutmeg Warriors, 8 matches, 10 points. Cinnamon Pacers in 3rd position, 8 matches with 8 points. Ginger General, 8 matches, 6 points. Saffron Strikers, 6 points from 8. Bailey Blasters at the bottom of the table, 4 from 8. So better average the Ginger Generals, who will make the 4th place playoff. And one will probably expect that even as we go into that stage, you know, we would see some improved performances by the teams now who know that they have to win in an effort to go forward.
Yes, that should certainly be the case, and it's all or nothing now. You either win or you pack up, and I think teams will be looking at the strategies. I think it should be clear as to who might be playing who when it comes to the final, the semi-finals, the playoffs, so to speak.
So we have seen really good conditions. We have seen a tournament, Justin, in my view, which went to...
Yeah. They will let us know when they're ready.
A tournament that I would think would have run very well, seemingly no hiccups in terms of the matches, schedules, and so forth. Everything went pretty well, and the organizers must be happy with the way that this tournament has went.
Yes, and I think the only thing when you listen to the spectators, they were hoping that yes, 143, but probably they would have wanted to see a real run fest, a chase, a serious chase, even if they didn't get over the line, but at least give the spectators something really to enjoy. That was not to be, because I guess what we have seen earlier in the day too is a low-scoring affair, which turned out to be a really exciting game. And it's funny that, that this mid-range totals, this pass scores basically, is what normally provide that type of entertainment.
Yeah, and this is why it's important. You see that there's runs on the board, even though it's a small score. The thing of what the opposing team will have to come and get the runs, and you never know what can happen when you have 2, 3 early wickets to fall, and then things change. But the ideal thing you want to see is you see an effort, right, to get to the score. I mean, even though it was a difficult one, but you know, challenge the score. This was not to be. We look back at the game between Clove Challengers and Nutmeg Warriors. I think this was the game that was 9 overs. And Nutmeg Warriors will get up to 110. And we felt here was a real good score, 110 in 9 overs. And which will obviously we felt would have been challenging. And Clove Challenge made light work of it. You know, this sort of performance, you know. But in games like this, you'll need someone at the top. Or even not at the top, at the middle, but someone have to come and play an exceptional inning. This was not the case today. I think this is why, you know, Cinnamon Pieces really would have sort of rolled over Nutmeg Warriors.
Yes, and indeed they have rolled over them. But this, they with possibility that probably one or two of these teams will definitely have to play each other again, and it will be very interesting to see that third meeting.
Yeah, and the game here is cricket games are glorious uncertainties, because we can still find the team that come at the bottom of the table coming up and win this tournament.
Exactly.
And this is how interesting the game of cricket is. Not because Clove Challengers would have come out on top, only losing one game in the tournament. As you see, Ginger Generals just getting in, ended up with 6 points, but can still come. Because I think all the teams are both of good players of a really good talent, who can probably take any bowling apart. It just means that they need 1 or 2 players from either of the teams to come good. And in doing so, this shortened version of the game, any 1 or 2 player that comes good, a really good result in a positive result for the team.
Of course, and as you said so rightly, all of the teams basically possesses extremely good talent, and on any one of them, one of those days, we can find that talent coming to the fore, and a surprise can be sprung.
Yeah, and it's so good to see that we have come to the end of this play, and the sun is really shining brightly on the facility. Still a slight breeze blowing, but we can be happy with certainly the conditions that we have up here.
Indeed, very warm conditions, and probably as I say, the best day we have had so far since we've in the last 2 or 3 days, 3 or 4 days. It's been very overcast. Look like rain.
So the news here, Cinnamon Peters win by 112 runs, defeating Nutmeg Warriors, who just ended on 32. It's the lowest score in the tournament. We know just await as Rondell John is about to take it away. Just turn on him. So, not quite ready. As we know,
Right.
turnover. Rondell John, over to you.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much there, Rafael. I have here with me the captain of the Nutmeg Warriors, Daniel McDonald. Daniel, things not really going your way today.
Yeah, I think it's a good game. I think the pieces played very well, so I'll give them credit for that.
All right. Really not much for you. You already second on the table. Really, the result doesn't change anything. But what have you gathered from today's game?
Well, to be honest, today was a game like you just need to move forward, forget about today, and just the game tomorrow is more bigger game. So we just look to take that game tomorrow more serious than today.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and good luck to you tomorrow in the what would be the qualifier. And so we see you and your result come tomorrow. All right. So that was Daniel McDonald. We're going to be speaking to the Cinnamon Pieces captain, Ryan John. Ryan, a good win for you today, just to get the boys' momentum up. You had a really good showing with the bat.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said earlier, we were just trying to get the combinations right, and kudos to Nicozy and Daniel. They gave us a really good start, and we just built on that went through the innings.
Yeah, that total between them really seemed to have shaken the Nutmeg. The Nutmeg really could only muster 32. Tell us about that bowling effort.
We did really well with the ball. Must come in Asif. I mean, not every day you walk in on the park and you get 5 wickets in a T10 match, which is a batsman dominant game. So well done to him, and the other bowlers chipped in very well. So congratulations to our team.
All right, so you seem poised, you seem ready. The statement made. Speak to your Cinnamon Pieces fans.
Yeah, before I say that, I must say the business end of the competition starts tomorrow. So whatever was done today, it doesn't really matter. So the actual tournament starts tomorrow. So continue to give thanks to the Cinnamon Pacers fan, and we're going to do our best to keep you happy.
All right, so there you had it. Thank you very much, Ryan. You're going to keep the cinnamon flag flying high. We're getting into the prizes, and so we're going to invite the Vice President of the Grenada Cricket Association to present, and he will be presenting the first and foremost the power hitter of this match. All right, Daniel, just a quick word. Really been seeing that ball really well today.
Yeah, today was a good outing. I think I was really expressive today, and I'm thankful for it. Hopefully we could continue this momentum going to the back, most important part of the tournament.
All right, you had a total of 8 sixes in this match. It says that you were really prepared to get the ball off the park.
Yeah, always. That's always the most important thing in T10 cricket, sixes. So that's what I look to. Watch the ball long and the ball as fast as possible.
Well, I want to ask you to speak to your Nutmeg fans, both here and in Trinidad and Tobago.
Guys, thanks for the support. I hope that you continue supporting us and believing in us. Again, thanks for the opportunity from the Almighty and the fans.
All right, so that was Daniel Williams, our power hitter for this match. Thank you very much, Daniel, and good luck in the tournament. We're moving ahead, and the man of the match and the impact bowler goes to one individual, and so we're going to have that presentation right now. As if you had a good outing today. It's not very often you look at a T10 match and one man is responsible for half of a next team.
I don't think it's a one-man show. I thought Daniel and Nicozy, they did well with the bat for us, and the bowlers just come and clean it up.
You really was on target today, picking up some 5 wickets. I mean, how does that feel?
I mean, to take 5 wickets in any game, that's a big plus for any bowler.
But you seem, I looked at in looking at the match, I noticed after you got the third one, you really seem pumped and ready. Tell us about that mindset going into that last few deliveries where you picked up the next 2 wickets.
I was looking to get 5 wickets. Truth be told, I tell myself once I get the ball on the stump, I will get those wickets.
All right, well, you really performed well today. I want you to speak to the to the Nawasa Cinnamon Pieces fans, both here and in St. Vincent, and let them know what to expect from you.
No, the cricket actually starts from tomorrow. That's a knockout. We reach knockout stage now. That's where the cricket starts. We've been going through the process from since yesterday, and hopefully tomorrow we can go through it again and execute well.
All right, well, good luck to you. It's the business end, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
All right, so here ends the preliminary stage of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament. We're getting down to the business end. Tomorrow it's the eliminator coming at you first, and then we will have the qualifier. It's 3 playing 4, 1 playing 2. That is what is to come. Look out tomorrow. The business starts right here at the Lasajas playing field. Dream 11 Spiceisle T10.
Everybody charge up. West Indies going higher.